Fala pessoal, de boa, continuando a nossa gameplay do Starfield de onde paramos e também seguindo em frente com as missões da Confederação Freestar. Então bora lá, continuar com as missões aqui.
What's the story on Montero Luna?
That call we got from Wagner Farm turned out to be a little more interesting than I was expecting. Some men were trying to run the Wagners off the land. They tried to buy it first, but when that didn't work, they turned to threats. We confronted them, and unfortunately, it came to violence. None of them survived.
You helped someone in need and came back alive. That's a job well done. You did good, but a celebration might be a little premature. For the time being, yes, but you could still be in danger. That's why we need to fill in some blanks. What did you make of these men who were trying to take the farm? If that's true, then someone must have hired them. Now, did you find anything that might give us a lead on why these men wanted the farm? All right. Says here the thief had help from someone inside Hope Tech. Ain't much to go on.
There's something else. They were dressed in Freestar militia uniforms. The unit badge was yellow on black with the number 1. They also said something about being forgotten. They seemed bitter about it, resentful. Didn't you fight in the Colony War, Marshal? Any of that sound familiar?
The 1st Cavalry. I was in that unit for a while. But it was disbanded decades ago. After the Battle of Nera. What was left of it, anyway. The war between the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective? Worst conflict the settled systems has ever seen. Each side unleashed terrible weapons on the other. And countless people died. The armistice was signed 20 years ago. But a lot of folks still bear their scars. I suppose it ain't impossible, but it's real damn unlikely. The unit was pretty much wiped out, and the few that survived ended up in prison after a court-martial for disobeying orders. I don't recall how long the sentence was. The 1st Cavalry lost almost all their mechs and soldiers in a big push to take a United Colonies base. They were just about there when a ceasefire order came down. Both sides had just lost too much by then. It was a bloodbath. The commanding officer of the 1st disobeyed the order. He didn't want the lives of his soldiers to be sacrificed. For nothing. They court-martialed him, and the rest of the surviving officers, and locked them all up. Hell, it's our only lead. The Hope Tech factory is in Hope Town on Polvo. Nia Kalu's our ranger stationed out there. She can introduce you to Ron Hope, the president of Hope Tech. He might be able to help you find the thief. Just make sure you stay on his good side. He's on the Council of Governors, and they're the ones we answer to. The ruling body that oversees the Freestar Collective and the Rangers. The council members are the political and corporate elite of the Freestar Collective, so we have to tread lightly when we're dealing with them. Proud, stubborn, and smart. A self-made man. He built Hope Tech through blood, sweat, and sheer willpower. Good. The last thing I need is the council breathing down my neck. This is your assignment now, Deputy. Work with the other Rangers. Find out what you can about those men on Montero Luna. Meantime, I'll look into a possible connection with the 1st Cavalry. Good hunting.
Beleza, né? Então, aproveitando que eu tô aqui na sala do delegado também, não é uma sala onde a gente olhou as coisinhas, bora dar uma geralzinha ali pra ver se tem alguma coisa, né? Ó, tem um códice ali pelo menos, né? É uma informação interessante aí relacionada, né, a essa facção aí, querendo ou não, beleza? E agora também a gente já tem ali uma marcação, né, no mapa pra ir, certo? Então vamos viajar pra lá também e continuar com a missão.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Freestar Ranger Nia Kalu. If anyone is hearing this, system's failing. Need help. I repeat, need help. This is Freestar Collective Space. Hold while we scan your ship. Alright, we're done. Welcome to Hopetown.
Beleza, né? Então a gente precisa acoplar na nave ali e, né, entrar nela e conversar com a mina que tá lá na parte de pilotagem.
Please tell me you're here to help, not to try and steal my ship. You need my help. I'd laugh if it didn't hurt so much. I was tracking a crew of outlaws that's been preying on merchant ships. Bastards got the drop on me. I ran them off, but they got a few good hits in. As you can see, I ain't in much shape to make repairs. No chance. They took as much of a beating as I did, while outnumbering me 3-1, I'd like to point out. Repair my ship? Please. Just patch her up enough to get to Hopetown. The rest can get fixed up there. You seriously trying to fleece me for credits? At a time like this? You've got a lot to learn about what it means to carry a badge, Deputy.
Nia's right. Rangers are the law, and need to wear the badge with honor. I'm serious.
Thanks. I owe you one.
Rangers always got each other's back.
Beleza, né? Então agora a gente vai ter 3 objetivos ali na própria nave. Se você já quiser aproveitar também essa deixa para dar uma leve exploração ali nela e dar uma olhadinha também, bom proveito, tá? Não que eu tenha encontrado algo de interessante nessa nave aí, mas é interessante para quem quiser dar uma olhadinha, tá? Temos 3 localizações para fazer ali a manutenção, né? Que praticamente é você chegar lá e interagir com o item apenas e acabou, certo? Então é uma missãozinha aí bem tranquila por enquanto. Eu tô dando uma olhada ao redor só pra ver, né, se a gente tem aí alguma munição, alguma coisa desse tipo, porque não vai ser considerado como roubo, né? E é interessante pra nós sempre levarmos ali o máximo de munição possível. Resolvido um dos problemas, agora faltam 2. Esse aqui tá pra baixo mesmo. É a sala de máquinas, né? Padrão. Nada de interessante também pelo jeito. Pronto. Agora falta apenas um objetivo pra nós aqui. Tá em cima, né? E já era também. Bom, só voltar na mina lá agora e continuar com a história.
Thanks. That should get me home. You're right. They were pretty beat up, so I don't think they got real far. But if they make it back to their hideout, I might never find them again. We can't let that happen. Light armaments, not too fast. Pilots are gifted amateurs, but still amateurs. You'll be outnumbered, but they'll be damaged, which should even things up for you.
They look to be heading for Polville's moon Miatha.
Good hunting.
Beleza, o nosso objetivo então agora é basicamente ir atrás ali dos bandidos que escaparam, tá? A gente vai viajar para a localização e já começa a porradaria ali contra eles, tá? Eu só esqueci de trocar as armas ali da minha nave, né? Mas tá bom, né? Coisa que acontece. Vamos focar em um primeiro? Depois a gente vai no outro ali. Já era. Bora. Carai. Esquecendo de atirar, filhão. Agora falta esse daqui. Tá com o escudão cheio ali, mas também tudo nível baixo. Então eu tô suave. Não é nada que oferece perigo. E a era também. Inimigos eliminado. A missão ali já foi atualizada pra gente pousar lá no condado Hope, né? Uma área que a gente já fez ali umas missõezinhas lá também. Então bora lá agora. Beleza, né? Então é uma área também que a gente já veio, já explorou, já tá aí no canal. É só entrar ali na empresa e bem na entradinha vai encontrar a mina pra continuar.
You made it. Those outlaws didn't give you too much trouble, I trust? I can walk, talk, and breathe without too much pain. That's good enough for me. Good. I'm sure it didn't hurt that I softened him up for you. You've got good timing. A courier just came in from Aquila. The Marshal sends his regards along with a briefing on your case. I was surprised as hell to learn about the starship theft. Nobody said a word to me about it. Anyway, Mr. Hope can see us whenever you're ready. If you need to take a little time first, feel free. No, and I can't get answers as to why not. I'm sure Mr. Hope has his reasons. His office is upstairs. He's in a meeting, but it should be wrapping up. Come on.
Trucks in space! Their motto always cracks me up.
I'll say it anyway. Ron Hope isn't just the founder and president of Hope Tech. He's on the Council of Governors. The Council oversees the Freestar Rangers, so don't rile him up. I've spent a long time trying to build a good relationship with Hope. He comes on a little strong, but there's a lot to admire about the man. Everything you see around you, he built. Pretty much everyone in this town owes him for their livelihood. Can't begin to imagine the kind of pressure that must put on someone. All I'm saying is, try to show a little respect. All the way up. Is it just me, or does every executive in the settled systems have
Enjoy
an
your
office
visit
on the
to Hope
top
Tech.
floor? I guess being above everyone makes them feel like they're, well, above everyone.
As to parts, we could try outsourcing. Do a contract with scavengers, maybe, but that's a decision that's got to be made upstairs.
Well, talk to Elaine about the scavengers. It's not a bad idea, provided we get a good deal. And I don't mean a fair deal. I mean a good deal. Remember, it's not just our bottom line that matters. We're also responsible for the welfare of everyone in the factory. We look out for our people here, Burchett. That's a point of great personal pride.
Excuse me, Mr. Hope?
Well now, the Freestar Rangers. At last! Ah, damn good to see you, Leah. I think we're done here, Burchett.
Yes, sir.
This is the deputy I told you about.
Splendid. Splendid! It's a noble calling being a Freestar Ranger. We certainly could use more of you. I'm sure I don't have to tell you what an outrage it is to have a ship stolen right out of the factory. Justice must be done, and the sooner the better. That's good news. I'll send my people over to bring it home. Of course, that doesn't mean your work is done. I want the thief found and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I'm sure I don't need to remind you of my position on the Council of Governors. I'm glad we understand each other.
I'd take Ron Hope over Benjamin Bayou any day of the week. Looks like we got a job to do.
Now, tell me that you've at least got a lead of some kind. Hmm? Though what happened after the ship was taken doesn't concern me. What does concern me is making sure that this doesn't happen again. Well, I'm not sure I can be much help, but I'll answer whatever questions I can. No, nothing at all. It was just a standard Hope Tech cargo hauler. Not that it didn't have great value, mind you. Hope Tech builds some of the most durable and reliable starships in the settled systems. Now, you can bet my ships last twice as long as anything Stroud Eklund makes. We questioned everyone who was in the building when it happened, and not one person seems to have seen anything at all. Frankly, I think that's both highly unlikely and more than a little suspicious. However, I can't deny there are times when the hangar is empty, so it's not inconceivable the thief could have slipped in unseen. What? Nonsense! We vet our people thoroughly here. Hope Tech holds its employees to the very highest standards. Nevertheless, I suppose I could have Cosette conduct a thorough personnel review. Rest assured, if we turn up any evidence that one of our people was an accomplice, I'll let you know. Because I told them not to. If word got out, it would do irreparable harm to our image. I'm in fierce competition with other starship manufacturers. Any sign of weakness could be fatal. What's more, every starship thief in the settled systems would likely flock to Hopetown and start planning the next heist. Very well. I need you to understand something, Deputy. This town is home to men, women, and children who depend on Hope Tech for a living. I provide jobs that put food on their tables and a roof over their heads. It's a responsibility that I take very seriously. If word gets out about the stolen ship, my investors will lose trust, and my workers will pay the price. I can't allow that.
You've got a reputation for looking after your own, Mr. Hope. I'm sure the deputy here will keep that in mind.
Is that so? Well, I'm glad to hear it. I've worked hard to make sure that everyone here is well cared for. I'm glad we understand one another.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Hope, but there's been a development.
Not now, Cosette. I'm in the middle of something.
But sir, we have new information. I've just received a report that the stolen ship was seen landing at Neon just after the theft.
A breakthrough at last. Well, Deputy, it sounds like you'll be heading to Neon, which means I can get back to work. Remember what we discussed. My people are depending on you.
Hey, can I get a word? That wasn't as helpful as it could have been. Still, at least you know where to pick up the trail. Let's hope. So, guess you're headed for Neon. There's a ranger stationed there. Name's Jalen Price. He's a little different than the rest of us. But Neon's a different kind of place. He's what I'd call a pragmatist. He sees things for what they are. He's also well-connected, which means a lot on Neon. You should listen to what he tells you. It'll keep you out of trouble. Well, we could talk for an hour about that. The short version would be that crime, law, and justice don't exactly mean the same things there. The badge doesn't carry the same weight on Neon, so you might have to get creative. He should be able to help you out. Well, we've both got work to do. It was good to meet you, Deputy. Thanks again for helping me out up there. I'll be taking it easy for a couple of days. Need time to heal up. Then, I need to get back up there and keep an eye out for more pirates. I'm hoping to track one of their ships so I can find their hideout. Guess we could both use a little luck, huh? No problem. Good luck on Neon, Deputy.
Beleza, pessoal, com isso a gente acaba completando mais uma missão aí também da Confederação Freestar, e agora a gente já inicia automaticamente a próxima e precisamos voltar lá para a cidade de Neon, né? Não faz muito tempo que a gente foi lá também.
Neon's dangerous, but man, can it be a lot of fun.
Beleza, a gente acabou voltando aqui então, né, na cidade. Tem a marcação aqui, eles têm um lugar próprio ali deles, ó. Bem interessante aqui na cidade. E agora bora lá, né? Entrar e conversar ali com o contato que a gente tem aqui.
Hey, I don't care who you work for. You can't just... Oh, you're the rookie, aren't you? Not exactly, but I get a lot of unwanted visitors. Kinda comes with the territory here. The one and only. Well, the marshal's message said you were following a lead about a stolen ship. Truth is, a lot of stolen goods flow through here, but this city is real good at keeping its secrets, even from us. No, I think you should be careful. Yeah, about that. This isn't Aquila City. The badge doesn't carry the same weight here. The people who run this place aren't overly concerned about the law. Our job is to keep the peace and make sure the violence doesn't get out of hand. The last thing anyone around here wants is some hotshot deputy looking in every dark corner.
Neon's a tough assignment. The ecosystem is rigged against any real law enforcement.
That would be Benjamin Bayou. He's out to squeeze every credit he can from the people of this city, and he doesn't much care who gets hurt in the process. He's also got a seat on the Council of Governors, which proves that if you've got enough credits, you can buy anything you want. I pick my battles, and I pick them carefully. Our first duty is to protect the people of the Freestar Collective. But sometimes you have to choose which people to protect, because not everyone is innocent. Good.
That's a smart play, as much as it rankles.
Your stolen ship would have had to land at the spaceport. If it was right off the factory floor, it would have stood out. There's a guy I know, Billy Clayton, does maintenance work around the city and keeps an eye on ship traffic for me. I'll introduce you, but don't expect a favor. Even if it doesn't cost credits, nothing in Neon is free. Believe it or not, yeah, it was. My mother's an executive with Ryujin, so I grew up here. I volunteered for this post as much to keep the other Rangers out of trouble as any other reason. If some hotshot rookie took this job and started flashing the badge everywhere, it wouldn't end well. Nah, I've got friends in high places, so to speak. I'm the son of a Ryujin Industries executive. Maybe you've heard of her?
Name's Alexis Price. There's a sort of fragile peace here in Neon. It's better for everyone if the syndicates and the corporations coexist with minimum friction. Stay out of people's business until you can't. Be willing to let the small stuff slide. Don't break up a fight unless it's getting out of hand. Most of all, don't assume that badge will protect you. Of course, Neon's full of desperate people who have nowhere else to turn. For some, it's the drugs. For others, it's gambling. There are a lot of ways to lose everything in this city. My rule is simple. If someone brought it on themselves, then I don't get involved. Rangers are supposed to exercise good judgment. I'm one person here. I can't help everybody. The best I can do is try to protect the ones who are innocent. And believe me, it's a full-time job. This is Neon. There are no guarantees, and who I find trustworthy changes on a daily basis. Talk to them or don't, it's your call. Come on.
Beleza, né? Ele tem um contato ali para possível informação, então agora a gente só precisa acompanhar ele ali até chegar lá no cara e conversar com ele também.
That was pretty impressive how you volunteered to help out with the bank heist in Aquila City. Yeah, I read all the reports. You learned quickly that in Neon, staying informed and staying alive are closely linked. What stood out to me was that you didn't lose a single hostage. No wonder the Marshal tried to recruit you right away. If he hadn't, it would have made him look like a fool, having some random stranger step in and do the job he couldn't. Now, if someone tried to hold up a... But you understand that, don't you? That's why you just told me that you won't cause trouble. Keep that in mind, and you'll fit right in. Hey, Billy, you got a second?
What? Oh, it's you. Gave me a good scare. I thought you were one of Goodman's people.
Sure, far from it. Our new deputy here is working a case, and I thought you might be able to help. Take it away, rookie.
What do you need? A stolen Hope Tech ship, huh? Well, here's the thing. Neon's got no end of shipjackers. I see them come and go every day. It's tough for a guy to remember one from the other, you know what I mean?
I can see where this is going.
Credits ain't really what I need. There is something you could do for me.
Spilling credits is always better than spilling blood.
I can help you, but right now my life is in danger, and I haven't even done anything wrong. Freestar Rangers are supposed to protect the innocent, right? Please, just hear me out, okay? I need to know I can count on you. Then you need to hear this. It's about my brother. He died while still in debt to a syndicate loan shark by the name of Emmett Goodman. Now, Goodman's coming after me to collect. He says if I don't pay up, I'm a dead man.
This Emmett Goodman sounds like a real class act.
Yeah, he's bad even by Neon standards. That's saying something. The only one that matters around here, the Seoka Syndicate. They pretty much run the city. But that being said, rumor has it that Emmett Goodman is on the outs, so they might not miss him much if he were to disappear. I swear it on my best set of wrenches. Goodman's holed up in one of the warehouses on Epside. Place is locked up tight, but there's a guard who watches the door, and he's got the key.
I'll stay with Billy in case Goodman's men come to collect. They're not stupid enough to tangle with me.
Beleza, né? Então, assim, a gente poderia tentar persuadir ele pra soltar a informação, mas vamos lá, né, mano? Resolver esse probleminha pra ele aí também, certo?
You'd better keep walking. This is private property. As long as you behave yourself and don't overstay your welcome, I don't see the harm in a quick visit. Here, this will get you in.
Aqui também a gente poderia utilizar ali a persuasão, mas eu resolvi logo pagar pra entrar direto logo e já conversar com o cara.
Something I can do for you, friend. Well now, always happy to have a visitor. Tell me, what brings you by, friend? Little light on credits, are you? Oh, it's just a modest enterprise, really. You could call me an importer and exporter. Inherited the trade from my daddy. But I'm sure you ain't here about my business. It's awful kind of you to intervene on my behalf, but I think I have the matter well in hand. Thank you all the same for your concern.
I can't tell if he's kidding or not.
If you're attempting to appeal to my good nature, you're proceeding under a false premise. You see, in my line of work, it doesn't exactly pay to be soft. What's your stake in this anyway? Well, I'm afraid that's just none of my concern. Then offer me something I want, and I'll consider it. Well, that ain't wrong. Maybe so. I suppose I could make an exception. It's just this once, you understand. Just promise me you'll keep my compassionate nature a secret. Folks might try to take advantage.
Did you talk to Goodman? Yeah, I figured he wouldn't want to make an enemy of the Freestar Rangers. Glad the badge still means something around here.
The Syndicate doesn't worry all that much about the Rangers. I think our new deputy here is just a real smooth talker.
Okay, time for me to keep my end of the bargain. The woman you're looking for is named Grace Early. Stealing ships is her line of work. She usually comes here to sell the goods. Rumor has it she just finished a job for some mercenary outfit, and she's been throwing money around, so must have paid well.
I know her. When she isn't out on a job, she's a regular at Madame Sauvage's. That's on the upper platform. I'll back you up.
Beleza, então a gente tem uma outra pessoa pra conversar ali também, vamos lá?
Love your fit.
A Freestar Ranger and his... What are you? A sidekick or something? Well, I'm sure your mom is real proud. So how come I'm talking to the sidekick instead of the ranger?
This is the deputy's case.
Is that so? And you had to bring backup just for little old me? I'm flattered. Anyway, this ain't my first interrogation, so let's just get on with it. A time or two, maybe more. And yet here I am, walking free. Aw, ain't you polite? I'm guessing this is the part where you tell me that you've got questions and that you expect me to answer them. That sound about right? All right. So I jacked a ship. It was just a little fun. I didn't even keep it. It was a job. I turned it over to some men, and they took off for who knows where. End of story. Nothing I did put anyone in danger, okay? That's unfortunate. But I don't know anything about it. Can't say I'm surprised, though. You know how it is out here. The strong take what they want from the weak.
You're real cold-blooded, aren't you? If that woman had been killed, you'd be an accessory to murder. Did you think about that?
No, I guess I didn't. It's not that simple. I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here. I'm trying to be reasonable here. I hear you. Maybe we can work something out. I guess if I can't trust a Freestar Ranger, then I can't trust anyone, right? I was approached by a woman named Maya Cruz. Said she was a senior member of the First and that she had a job for me. She was working with someone inside Hope Tech and pitched me on the idea of jacking a ship right out of the factory. We were deep into planning the job when she had some kind of medical emergency. She said she needed surgery and would be in recovery for a long time. That was a few weeks ago. Haven't heard from her since. You serious? Take your pick. Money, reputation, the thrill of it. All good reasons. Only some kind of offhanded comment about their client wanting to expand the operation ahead of schedule. In my line of work, you learn not to ask a lot of questions. Tends to make people uncomfortable. No, but it sounded serious. She was upset. Seemed kind of shaken, you know? Didn't seem right I should pry, so I didn't. Not long after that, I got a message from a guy named Marco. He said he was the money man for the First, and he offered half up front. Never met him directly, though. It was always through intermediaries and using encrypted slates. Got the feeling he was paranoid as hell.
Do you have one of those encrypted slates on you right now?
Yeah. Here. Take it. I'm done with all this. Anything else you want to know? Nothing, really. I was told when and where to meet them. They paid me what I was owed, and that was it. Not so much as a hint. I'll tell you. He's as cagey a fixer as I've ever met.
Bankrolling the First must take a lot of money. I'm sure he's got all kinds of side hustles going on.
No. Nothing at all. Left me feeling a little disappointed, given how well they paid me. Yeah, sure.
Next time you're at the Rock, you should give that encrypted slate to Ranger Alex Shadid. He's got a gift for cryptography. If anyone can crack that slate, it'll be him. I'm gonna head back. Good luck, Deputy.
Then I'm free to go. Oh. You're welcome. Guess I ain't used to the law being so polite.
Beleza, né? A gente já obteve ali as informações, então agora é só voltar lá para a cidade de Aquila, né? Para nossa central.
Good to see you. Hey, I wondered when you might come by. I'm Alex. Nia's report said you were heading for Neon? I've always wanted to go there. What did you think? Oh, I can't fly anywhere. Issues with my Eustachian tubes. Being in a pressurized environment is like someone taking a laser cutter to the sides of my head. It's not great, but at least I can pretend to visit the party capital of the galaxy by having you tell me about it. Yeah, I bet. It just sounds so exciting and so stimulating. Probably makes Aquila City look like the more boring backwater town in the settled systems by comparison. Alas, I'll have to experience it vicariously through you and the other Rangers. So how'd it go? Turn up anything useful? Oh, come to daddy, my sweet little mystery slate. I see lots of coffee and late nights ahead. Now, if you get any more of these, bring them to me. It helps if I can compare different instances of the encryption they're using. Just look for me up here. I have no life, so I'm not usually hard to find. It'll take as long as it takes. You can't rush a job like this. One thing I can promise you, though, is that it'll go a lot faster if I don't have to answer silly questions. Oh, why should I? Nothing but dirt, cold air, and Ashta waiting for me out there. I like my nice, cozy, antisocial office space much more, thanks. You're counting on me. You know I outrank you, right? Please and thank you go a long way when addressing your betters, rookie.
Let's talk for a minute. Welcome back. Any luck finding out who stole that ship from Hope Tech? Glad you got a chance to meet him. Sounds like you're making real progress. You're off to a good start, but that's all it is, a start. What did you learn from the starship thief? Now we're getting somewhere. Sounds like you've got a couple of new leads to follow up on. I have a guess who Marco might be. I served with Maya Cruz. She's a technical genius and an expert hacker. I can give you some background if you want it, or we can go straight to planning your next move. There was a mech driver in the 1st Cavalry named Marco Graziani. He came from money, and when the 1st Cav got a reputation as the top unit, he transferred in. Rumor was that bribes made it happen. Marco had a knack for getting hold of anything we needed. There was talk the family fortune came from smuggling, and I believe it. He had this dream to become a wealthy businessman when he got out. But I guess that got put on hold when they locked him up. They said she was a child prodigy, which probably explains her arrogance. Even so, she was fiercely loyal to Major Hull. I don't think she'd ever give him up. If you find her, don't expect her to cooperate. Like what? Most likely place would be the clinic. It's in Freestar Collective space and provides the best medical services credits can buy. They also guarantee privacy. So it's an ideal place for someone trying to keep a low profile. Ranger Ben Armistead is posted there. I'll send him an update on the situation. Around the time he got out of jail, we started hearing Marco's name in circulation. Word is he's heading up a smuggling racket. Based on what you've learned, I'd presume he's funneling his ill-gotten gains to the 1st. Ranger Autumn McMillan is out at Red Mile right now, looking into the smuggling operation. I suggest you pool your resources. Just remember, that's outside Freestar Collective space, so we've got no jurisdiction there. Your priority is to gather more intel about the 1st. What are they planning? Who are they working for? Where are they headquartered? Just remember that your targets were locked up because they were loyal to their unit. They think the Freestar Collective betrayed them. In other words, you ain't gonna get a warm welcome, so be careful. Good hunting, Deputy.
Beleza, pessoal, e com isso a gente acaba completando mais uma missão aqui do game também, certo? Liberamos ali 2 outras missões para ser completadas, tá? Eu vou deixar essas 2 aí no próximo vídeo então, né? pra gente ir continuando com a história aqui, né? Só vou mostrar elas direitinho ali pra vocês. Se gostou, deixa o like, se inscreva no canal. Valeu, falou e até a próxima.